And hi guys.
Oh,
Hi,
man.
love the wallpaper.
I know my backdrop is like having some issues today, but a big congrats on Boobage. By the way, it's funny and sweet and even on point on some of the paranormal and afterlife stuff.
Oh, thank you so much. It was so much fun to shoot, so I'm glad you liked it.
Oh, I love it. And let's begin with you, Miss Aparna. Talk to us about your character, Riley, and what got you interested in playing her.
Well, I first of all, I thought the writing was so funny when I got it. I could not stop laughing. The title alone killed me, and then as I was reading it, it just got funnier and funnier. And I actually auditioned with some scenes of Riley's from the show. The first one is one of the very first scenes we see with the hot tub where like the fake boob is floating around. And I just looked at it and I was like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever read. And if I don't get to do this, I'm going to be sad about it. So, and I got really lucky that I got to play with her. And I really wanted to just make her a human person and understand what it's like to be this girl who has everything, but at the same time, it's not enough. Because it's just so different than my own high school experience, like not being the popular girl, not being queen bee. So it was juicy and it was delicious and it was fun to sink my teeth into, but I spent the season really getting to know her as a person and like, understanding who she was underneath it, which is just honestly a scared girl who kind of just wants to actually be appreciated. Actually, instead of having to manipulate people into appreciating her a little bit. It was
Exactly.
fun, yeah.
What about you, Mr. Mason? You know you're going to be America's favorite boyfriend soon, right?
Stop. I don't know about that, but that's kind. Very kind.
But not interested in joining in playing Jake C.
Yeah, no, the writing was honestly, it's so freaking hilarious. Like it was honestly just a fun audition. For me, I had like Jason Bateman, kind of like confused energy, but very direct energy when I was auditioning. So it made that just the audition process somehow really fun.
Thanks,
And,
Jason Bateman.
Thank you, Jace. Thanks, man. But yeah, and what was interesting about it was there was sort of an obstacle with, it's a boy next door type, and we were talking about how like there's a good amount of what would usually be just stereotypes, and usually not a lot of depth, and seeing how there's human there, but a lot of realness there, but with a lot of the control that is over Jake C, even though he's so in denial about it, I felt like I was able to bring I knew I was going to have a lot of fun bringing something a little different, a little like awkwardly charming, because maybe there isn't a lot of certainty in him, maybe there isn't a lot of confidence in him completely, which leads to that denial. But there comes this point in his journey where he also accepts what he is and who he is, and I think that's where he finds the most progress in his character.
Oh, Mr. Parna, there are many themes, right? But for me, it's all about second chances and doing better with your life. What about you?
I think that's part of it. I think one of the things I took away from it that's tied to it is like really like understanding who you are and what's important to you. And I think that's tied to what you said, really, like having a second chance and like realizing that that's important. There's a lot of identity and image things in this show, and just understanding what's real, what really matters, I
And
think.
the power of friendships, I think, right, Mr.
Yeah.
Mason?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yeah, for sure. No, just recognizing what you have. There's in the story, there's some serious reflecting that takes place. And I think if you can just take note of what you have in your life and not just constantly be reaching out and grabbing for that next milestone that you're trying to chase after, or like, affirmations from, the nameless faces or whatever, it's important to just, find contentment in what you do have, because it's ultimately enough, and it leads to
Right.
happiness. So
Now, do you believe in afterlife, Mr. Mason?
I,
Paranormal stuff?
I believe there is. I believe there's an afterlife. I
Mhm.
definitely do. I think there's been some serious experiences in the life where you can be like, oh wait, what's
What
going
next?
on here?
Yeah.
I
What about
think
you,
the
Mr. Parna?
universe,
You agree?
yeah, I think the universe is just, we us human beings can't possibly explain everything there is. And so I think there's a lot that's unknown to us. And I think that, those, if you've experienced any kind of, whether it's a loss or kind of interaction with like having someone that you admire or something that may have passed on, even a pet that may have passed on. I think a lot of people have had experiences where they've maybe interacted past that. And I think there's just, we might not be able to explain it. We don't know the rules necessarily, but I think there's some kind of peace in believing it, and knowing that there's something more.
Exactly. A big congrats on Boo Bitch. Again, like what the show said, until you're dead, you're gonna live your life. So live it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Oh my God.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so
Good luck on
much.
everything, okay?
So much, man.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.